It's Thursday, October 22nd, and it's 5 to 7 p.m. And this is Super Mush Mouse. I'm trying to figure out what that thing is right there. Okay, it's Thursday, October 22nd. There's a big orb on the moon hologram. Right there. The moon hologram is jumping around like crazy. Okay. That's not just one orb. It's a ring of orbs. They're very large. Couple of 100 kilometers each if the moon is the size they say it is, or the moon hologram actually, or cluster nucleus of dark matter, a hologram for us. If it's the size they say, 1/6 the size of the Earth, these things are huge. Okay, that's a ring of orbs. That's how they travel through space, and the bottom is covered with small orbs. Okay, there's orbs underneath the pile of smaller orbs, because the whole thing is just orbs. That's a huge ring of very large orbs. Okay, that's the first time I've been able to show this other than in space. I've taken photos of it just in space, but this is the first time I'm able to show it actually on the moon hologram itself, and it's in video. I'm going to try and take a photo. This is not the same camera I usually take photos with. As soon as I find where the button is. Okay, to take a photo. Oops. I took a photo of nothing. Thing moved out of the way. Okay, the moon hologram is jumping. Okay, maybe that's not the right button. Anyway, I don't normally take pictures with this camera. I'll do it with the camera I use for pictures. Okay, this is the one I use for video, but that's a very large ring of very large orbs. You can see it's being covered more and more by smaller orbs. It's being absorbed right into the orb cluster nucleus itself. Okay, this is very important because eventually it will just disappear right into the hologram or the orb cluster nucleus, or it'll just go out into space, one or the other. There is no in between. It's not going to remain there. It's not a permanent fixture on the orb cluster nucleus. These things come and go. This is the first time I've caught one on video. Okay, you can see how did it go? No. Okay, you can see how much the moon hologram is jumping. I have to go back up. Okay, I'm gonna try and watch it from a distance. I'm at I'm at 200x. You can't see it at 200x. Yeah, I'm at 400. Okay, you can see it. You'll be able to see the moon hologram jump if it keeps jumping. I have to lower it a little bit so you can see it. It's hard to get this exactly right. Okay, you see, I'm not touching the camera, I'm way back here. Okay, watch how the whole thing jumps, because it's a lot of active orbs that make that up, and dark matter all around it. Okay, so this proves that these things are real. I'm just moving it so that they can get it and, go the whole length. It's supposed to go to the right, but we'll see which way it goes, because the whole orb cluster nucleus has not been moving the way we think it's supposed to be moving. I'm going to show that thing. I'll wait for it to come into the view. Okay, there it is. And you can see how the orb cluster nucleus is jumping around back and forth. That's why when I go real close, it's useless when you can't keep the camera lens on it, because it moves too much. Okay, that's a lot of movement, and it's in the wrong direction. The whole thing is alive. That's the main point I want to make tonight. That entire orb cluster is alive. It's dark matter, and it's in an active state, because right next to that, watch what's right next to that. Okay, all of these orbs. Okay, that's what space is full of. Just them. It's like an ocean. They're all alive, doing very well, and they're all really smart. Okay, so that's the reason that this whole thing, where is it, is jumping. I moved the camera too far away. Okay, there it is. Okay, you see that X there? I'll back it up. Okay, it's still like not fully dark, but you can see all the dark matter around it. Okay, it's not only up in space, it's in our atmosphere, these organisms. Okay, there's the X. Okay, this thing is going to turn into a star. Wait and see, and just watch it, because it's become so active, that nucleus, that it's super bright, and all it needs is one line across the center there. Okay, let's see again. See how bright that is? That's just a half of it. Okay, you see the brightness? I'm going to do something else. I've done some work with this camera. I've put in 4 filters, but not on the outside. I put them inside the camera. They're all digital. Okay, this is a better focus of what that thing looks like. I put it on sharper. Okay, this is like super high definition. Bring it down some more. Okay, there's what that thing looks like. You see the orbs there? Just how active they are right in it. Okay, that's what's happening in the entire nucleus. And that's electromagnetic energy, and that's power. Okay, that's power. Okay, you see that thing? Okay. Okay, this is super high definition. There's no doubt about what that is. Okay, that's a whole bunch of orbs, but they're in clusters, large clusters, and large clusters have joined together to create sort of like a bridge. But look, they're anchored to the nucleus. Okay, because that whole thing, half of it is inside the nucleus itself. It's covered by smaller orbs. And that whole thing can take off and travel through space. I have photos of those things. I've posted them. But that's what they look like in action. You could see the energy. And then I'll set it. Okay. Okay, I'm very glad I got this tonight, because I've been saying it's there, and nobody believes me. And there it is, alive and well. If I can get it in the right position, I'm so close to it. I mean, I'm in such high zoom. Okay, you can really see the orbs. I mean, I can see them and I don't even have my glasses on. I was in such a hurry to get this on video that I left my glasses in the house. But I can still see them moving. Okay, that whole green area there. Okay, that's like a ring. Half of it is inside the nucleus and half out. But that ring, when it's in space, inside in the middle is filled with those little orbs that you see there. They're not that little. They're probably like tens of kilometers each, but that whole ring is like filled in the middle. And then it looks like a spaceship. But it's all living organisms, and they're energy organisms. Look at all that energy right there. See the energy right there in the cluster? And look how bright it is. It's like the sun. The whole thing is alive. Look at the bottom. The whole thing is alive. Okay, this is not a physical object. This is an energy nucleus, and it's dark matter. Dark matter is not that kind of matter you think it is. It's energy matter. Okay, it's like a sort of mix of energy and matter, and it's multidimensional. It's like nothing you've ever seen or experienced before. But those organisms are on Earth, and they even breed on Earth, and they're coming like in through the holes that are in the ozone layer, because that was the only thing keeping them out. And there's always been holes in the ozone layer in the past from like volcanic ash and other carbon poisoning of the air, CO2 and CO1 and CO. I'm talking about carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide and other gases that affect the ozone layer, like the stuff you put into your air conditioner. That's why they don't sell refills for cars anymore, because people weren't careful, and the stuff leaked out into the atmosphere and destroyed the ozone layer as well. Okay, this is why we're getting so much hotter as a planet, because this thing is getting a lot more hotter, and it's getting closer. It has a tendency to come real close, because it's living energy and matter combined, intelligent, and it's gonna melt like all the ice at the poles. Look at that big orb right there. Let's see that big orb. Let's see. I can't believe I gotta work on this. The phone is ringing. I gotta answer it. It's October the 22nd. It's 10:30 p.m. I was out here earlier at 7 o'clock to 7:30 and just checking the progress of this ring orb cluster, which is almost gone inside the moon hologram orb cluster nucleus. As you can see, it's being just kind of swallowed up by the smaller orbs which make up that nucleus. That's the moon hologram jumping around. Okay, this was a lot larger on the outside. Now it's almost all the way down. You can see the roundness of it being inside the nucleus itself. I should say inside the active part of the nucleus, because the other part of the half moon is not as active as this side. You can see all the orbs on the outside making this huge orb cluster. Okay, that's very...
It's Halloween time!
That's dark matter. You can see the orbs very clearly. Okay, this is what makes up the moon hologram. Okay. I'm just gonna back it off. Okay, you can get a better look at it from this distance. You can see that the moon orb cluster is just teeming with those orbs. You really get a good look at them. Look at that nucleus within a nucleus, that big orb. There's a lot of big orbs. The nucleus is made up of large and small orbs. They range in extremely large sizes to minuscule, even subatomic sizes. This is a structure of living organisms, cluster organisms. And the large orbs are more visible. You can see right here. There's a lot of smaller ones, along with the large ones. The smaller ones are the ones that make up the large ones as they cluster into larger and larger formations and shapes. But see that white one there? That's really a high activity orb cluster and an orb that's really the revolutions are extremely fast, faster than the entire hologram, the moon hologram I'm talking about. But you can see how many there are. Wow, this thing came back out. Must know I'm filming it. It's coming back out. Okay, I have it on sepia, just so you can see the energy where the orbs are shooting across that top there. The structures are maybe more identifiable in this kind of an imagery. But you can see the orbs right there shooting across the top, and that's the hologram just moving back and forth because the orbs know I'm filming them. Don't ask me how they know, but they know. Because they're probably right here next to me, all over the place. I'm just not looking for them right now. You gotta concentrate on one thing at a time and do it right. The jumps that thing takes are amazing. Look at that orb. The speed that it's spinning. Just tremendous speed. And look, the whole thing is hollow. Okay, it's hard to see the orb cluster in this color, so I'm going to turn it off and put it in some other filter. That big orb is pulsing, trying to turn out the camera, but I took care of that already. It's an electric power. You see how transparent that is? You see all the organisms? You see all the would-be structures. They're not, there'll be structures in the future, but they haven't formed yet. It's like looking into the future, but you could see them. And you can even see where the orbs will cluster. There's nothing solid there. You see, it's all transparent, the whole thing. Oops. I lost it there for a minute. Okay, this is right in the middle. You can see that it's just transparency right through. I did some photos and I took away all of this, and you could actually see stars on the other side. Because this is not even real. It's not in our dimension, and it's not the moon is not an object. Okay, it's just a figment of your imagination, because all it is a hologram. Okay, I have the red filter on. None of these are mounted. They're inside the camera. I've been doing some work. I have 4 filters in so far. Okay. So far I have neutral, black and white, sepia and red, and normal. So this is what you believe is your moon. But believe me, it's not what you think it is. It's not a terrestrial object at all. And it's not the kind of matter you think it is. In fact, it's a living organism, the whole thing. And not just this nucleus, but the entire cluster over here. Okay, all of space is one big organism. Alfred North Whitehead was correct. The universe is one huge organism. And there it is. In red and white. You can't even tell which are Oort clouds and which are regular clouds anymore. You can see the speed the oars are moving at. The velocity is just tremendous. And that's their normal slow speed. Okay, don't forget I have a really heavy duty red filter on. This is much brighter in real life. You can tell how much red there is. This is like a really dark red filter. The thing is so bright I have to use, I had to actually install filters into this. And now I finally have it working. Before I couldn't get it to work because it had a glitch, and now I got it. And it didn't take a long time. It was just a small little thing. You see the big jumps it's taking? It's unbelievable. Yeah. Look at all that energy just being funneled. Just earlier, that was an orb cluster, but in the form of a circle. And it had gone down into the nucleus, and now it's coming back out. Not the whole thing, but it's come back out more than it was, when I started. Look at all that energy being fed into that. See those orbs that are all lit up? Look, see they're feeding right there at the front, all the way to the edge. You can see them going through from those lit up orb clusters there. They're creating the energy and pumping it into through here and then going back down. So it's like a conduit. Okay, so this is proof positive that this is not a solid object at all. It's a living cluster of organisms made out of dark matter, radiation, and electromagnetic energy. Look at them all. There's billions in that cluster, and that's just half of it. Billions. See, some parts haven't even been created yet, but they're going to be. So when you see the outline of them, you're looking into the future, because eventually they'll become part of the third dimension. Thank you for viewing. Okay.